Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, watch my videos, and subscribe to my channel so I make good videos. Today we'll be reacting to useful charts, Western esotericism family tree. Basically, Western esotericism family tree. All that stuff. Said by Europeans, that's true. Western esotericism family tree. This Western esotericism basically is a loosely connected movement. 1970. Western esotericism basically a loosely connected movement that developed in 17th century Europe. So basically, had Christianity back in there as well. And secularism with the 18th century enlightenment of Europe, the age of enlightenment in Europe. And that was Western esotericism, which basically means it's kept secret.
However, I should note that it does not include the standard forms of other well-established religions.
Sure, it doesn't.
Judaism, Islam, Hinduism,
exactly.
Buddhism. So basically, Western esotericism is a sort of
grab bag. It's definitely a grab bag, yeah.
That is considered to be a non-traditional form of spirituality.
It's a non-traditional form of spirituality too. There's a connected means.
Prohibited or at least severely frowned upon.
Most of those ideas were prohibited and frowned upon. True.
For the inner circle.
Esoteric means SO means inside the circle, and XO means
it's the opposite of exoteric.
Esoteric means inside, SO means inside, and XO means outside. It means the outside circle. Is the occultism. Occultism and modern Wicca, modern paganism. Paganism was in there. And Societas in Societas, whereas the Christianity in Anglia, Norse mythologies, Odin 4, Loki.
I want to tell you about today's sponsor.
For Loki, Odin. For Odin, Loki. For Odin, Loki, Sieg or Sieg, his wife. The giants, the Jotnar or the Uto, the U2, the Jotnar, the U2, the giants, how they have a battle, honey mead, they drink, following every aspect of their life, according to research says. And research says that, exactly, they take the threat of AI seriously. I should get that for myself. I should definitely get that for myself, that 80,000 hours. Get that for myself. And learn about from articles about the future, what the future will be like. I definitely should get that. Exactly. I'll do that. I promise I'll do that. I'll do that. Exactly. I got to do that as well. Send that to myself. He's a good guy. He's a good preacher. He's a good YouTube channel. And you subscribe to him. What's it? There was Kabbalah, Christian Theosophy, Hermeticism, Neoplatonism by Plotinus, Hermeticism by Hermes Trismegistus, Gnosticism, which is secret knowledge. Gnosticism, which is the Greek word for secret. Is this Greek secret word for knowledge? Is a Christian heresy, yeah. Basically, it's a Christian heresy. Gnosis means secret knowledge. The whole physical world is altogether bad, is what Gnosticism thinks. In the spiritual world, and all the physical world is altogether bad. How do you have knowledge about the spiritual world? Physical world is altogether bad, and how do you have knowledge about the spiritual world? Gnosis is the Greek word for secret knowledge about the world, about secret knowledge. And then Hermeticism is Hermes Trismegistus, and Neoplatonism is Neoplatonism. On the one, yeah, the Gnosticism is the Greek word for secret knowledge, and how they were a Christian heresy, and Greek word for Hermes Trismegistus. Hermeticism basically is He is associated with Hermes Trismegistus. Is the founder of Hermeticism is Hermes Trismegistus of ancient Egypt in mythology and the Greek mythology, ancient Greek mythology. Egyptian mythology is Hermes Trismegistus, and Kabbalah, which is Jewish mysticism. Kabbalah is definitely Jewish mysticism, basically Jewish mythology, and Gnosticism is the Greek word for secret knowledge, and Hermeticism is Hermes Trismegistus is founder. And then there was Eastern religion, Buddhism and Hinduism. They went in the West. Some medieval times, according to research, they came back until the Asia exploration. We got in touch with them again. You could say much more, exactly. And then there was Neoplatonism by Plotinus. It's Neoplatonism, Plato, Plotinus, founder of Neoplatonism. Hermeticism is Hermes. Hermeticism is Hermes Trismegistus. Neoplatonism is Plotinus. Gnosticism is the Greek word for knowledge, secret knowledge, and it's a Christian heresy. Kabbalah is Jewish mysticism, and Eastern religions, Buddhism and Hinduism had contact with him again. Basically, there was the Christian Rosicrucian, which means the Rose Cross, Holy Rose Cross. There's Rosicrucians, Fraternity of the Rose Cross. Practice alchemy. They definitely practice alchemy, which is basically turning stuff into gold. Turning stuff into gold, and yeah, turning stuff into gold, and turning stuff into gold. Freemasonry. Basically, you'd be a Freemason, you have to carve things out of wood and stone and this and that. Have guilds among them. That's true what he's saying. And the Rosicrucians and the Societas Rosicruciana in Anglia, which is a organization in England. And then there was the Church of Satan, the Scientology, Wicca, Neo-paganism, which is known as modern paganism, Norse mythology, the other mythologies, Western mythologies. There's the Order of the Golden Rosy Cross.
Take note that in order to be a member of the order, one also
had to be a Freemason, yeah. Had contact. And Mormonism also was influenced by Westernesotericism from the Rosicrucians and the Swedenborgians. They were very cool charts, yeah.
I'm not sure that I could. But basically, they combine ideas taken from stuff like Hermeticism in an attempt to explain the world.
Hermeticism and Kabbalah too, yeah.
Orderly and scientific, while at the same time,
that's what Westernesotericism is, like scientific. Boy, it's scientific, different from Christian. Frederick II of Prussia, he was the ruler of Prussia. He was part of the Order of Golden Cross, Golden Rosy Cross.
A similar organization was
established. Societas Rosicruciana in Anglia. Societas Rosicruciana in Anglia still exists to this day.
More well known is the Hermetic Order of the
Golden Dawn. The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn is another one in Western esotericism. Basically, there was William to join, and also focus on ancient pagan, basically ancient Egyptian mythology, ancient Greek mythology, and Roman mythology, and Norse mythologies, and all these other Western mythologies. Western esotericism. Started with all Loki, the giants, Battle of Honeymead, all that stuff. Sieg.
Is that it introduced certain rituals and ceremonies that supposedly
spiritual magic.
These rituals would go on to be used by other esoteric.
There was basically Aleister Crowley of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, and William Butler Yeats, Pixie Smith,
was the Alice
Cohens. Means the elect priest. There's also the Alice Cohens in there as well. And they had
this organization later inspired a Frenchman
They inspired a freshman named Pappas, who was a French scientist who founded the disorder, and yeah, they had a Star of David. They weren't Jewish. They were Westernesotericism. They were occultist. Freemasonry had on Mormonism. Yeah, Mormonism was influenced by Freemasonry. Three LDS presidents, Joseph Smith, and were all Freemasons. I didn't even know that about that, but I didn't even know that about them. But now I know that about them. Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was generally not being a part of Westernesotericism, but it has some esoteric elements when you check their practices with the Book of Mormon. Swedenborgism as well. Named after the Swedish polymath who was named Manuel Swedenborg. Swedenborg also promoted the idea. It's very true. Swedenborg promoted the idea that spirits can influence the living. Loved ones can live as ghosts or angels. Common thug belief. Held by many Christians today. Joseph Smith. Moroni, the angel Moroni came to visit. Joseph Smith claimed that the angel Moroni came to visit him, claimed to be visited by him. He came to the new church after his death. Franz, German physician named Franz Mesmer, overlapped with his life. Mesmerizing basically means hypnotism. Mesmerism basically means hypnotism or animal magnetism, known as hypnotism. To hypnotize things. Certain techniques to contact spiritual dead relatives. It's like spiritualism. Ideas combined. Communicate with visible spirits of dead relatives. As spiritualism was born from there, with the folk sisters being the main practitioners of it. Spiritualism was all the rage during the late 1800s, early 1900s too. What research says. It lost its popularity as science improved too. It lost its popularity as science improved as well too. Spiritualist Association. A certain branch of spiritualism called Spiritism, founded by Alan Kardec. National Spiritual Association of Churches. This is another one from his episode 8 of Christian denominations that he did. Talked about the National Spiritual Association of Churches. There was New Thought, which was Phineas Quimby. And there was Spiritism from Alan Kardec, the Frenchman in Brazil, called the Brazilian. Never been told to think positively or that you can manifest good things. The Brazilian Spiritist Federation came from that. New thought organizations that still exist today, including the Unity Church. There's many New Thought ones known as Unity Church and the Religious Science label were part of that. Phineas Quimby. Even though they didn't acknowledge it, Christian Science was also influenced by them. Founder Mayor Baker Eddy was a patient, a client or a student of a patient of Phineas Quimby. She incorporated many of his ideas into her own. It was in the 1800s that Western esotericism really took off and went in a bunch of different directions. Well, of the many esoteric figures who were active during this period, perhaps the most important was a Russian-born woman named Helena Blavatsky. Theosophical Theosophy. Theosophy, which means God wisdom. Which it wasn't really God wisdom, it just was called that, but it didn't really involve the divine God's wisdom. But I respect all religions, respect all this. Came out of the spiritualist movement. She, like the other occultists, she believed that there was a universal human religion had eventually been lost, is what that one talks about. And now obviously there was the masters.
who knew about this
individual truth
and with whom
she communicated
Her goal was thus to reestablish a universal religion
religion
with the help of
of these
masters,
masters
some of whom were still
derived
alive and
living in Tibet. Though the founders of the four major religions, Hinduism, Buddhism,
ancient religious symbols, including a
Christianity, Islam, basically Judaism, all those masters in Tibet.
also a Star of David,
This
an
is
Egyptian
Star of
Ankh,
David,
and even a swastika,
Egyptian Ankh, Hindu arm, and a swastika.
had been used for centuries by
They used for
Buddhism
centuries.
and other religions.
Buddhism and other
However,
religions.
there is in fact a real link between theosophy
So see, Nazism. Nazism came from theosophy.
Involved what she called root races.
Root races, however, the Blavatsky's ideas, which are root race, Atlantis and all that, which is the fictional continent. Fictional continent. Fictional continent. And there was Ariosophy and Amanism. And there was the Volkish movement, which was a neo-pagan, modern paganism movement. Wanted to go back to the Norse mythologies, from the feudal society, Nazis, swastika as their main symbol. Gone from the feudal society, yes. That was the
is often overstated in an effort to make the Nazis
thing
even more evil
sinister
than they were.
than they were. The occult had the influence on Nazism.
The Nazis were far more concerned
That's far more concerned with their political agenda, taking over Poland and Czechoslovakia and stuff.
had a direct influence on anthroposophy.
And it also had theosophy had an influence on anthroposophy, which basically is anthroposophy, which is basically founded by Rudolf Steiner, esotericists of the 1900s. Undoubtedly, Aleister Crowley, a Hamitic order of the Golden Dawn, and his own system of thought known as Thelema, known as divine will, which it wasn't really divine will, but it meant that spirit dictated to him the code of the law. The order of the golden, Hamitic order of the golden, the Hamitic order of the Golden Dawn had fallen apart.
It was therefore through AA and also
Therefore, for Ordo Templi Orientis that he joined the esoteric ideas. Thelema gets ideas from a bunch of different sources. Ceremonial magic, which is known as Magic. Magic. It's illusionary magic.
Ceremonies included lots of weird stuff.
Weird stuff.
Sexual stuff.
That's why
General
teen lifestyle. All these weird stuff. Controversial living.
Regardless of what one thinks of Aleister
Crowley.
there's no doubt that his influence on
Spiritism continues today.
For example, near
The end of his life,
he became friends with
Gerald Gardner, first practitioner of Wicca. He was the first practitioner of Wicca,
also influenced
founder of Wicca.
who founded the Church
And still today as well. Church Satan, which does not believe in a real Satan.
Scientology. Although, as I mentioned in my video about atheist
Denominations.
it's important to know that the Church
It's
of Satan
Lord Hubbard is founder of Scientology. The Church of Satan doesn't really believe in a real Satan. They don't believe in God's arch enemy. And there's paganism as well. Known as modern paganism. Rise of Christianity, the religions of the pagans before Christianity, what they had. Religions of Europe before the Constantine Christianity too. Known as neo-pagan, modern paganism. Was around, had an influence in basically Norse mythology with all. There's the Norse mythology with Thor, Odin, Loki, Sieg, Stuart, the giants, Jotnar, Honeymead, how to have a battle. The axe, I got a reference from the Ragnarok movie, reminds me of that. Yeah. Reminds me of that. And basically, there's Celtic mythology and Hebrew, Celtic mythology and British mythology, Anglo-Saxon mythology, and ancient Egyptian mythology as well. Known as Celtic mythology, Celtic mythology, eclectic Wicca is basically witchcraft.
Originating in the UK.
Basically, Wicca originated in the UK. It was basically witchcraft for sorcerer. There's witches in there and wizards like Harry Potter, but it's not like Harry Potter.
Most practitioners simply practice on their own.
They practice on their own, yeah. It's true.
Now, I should point
they do their own
out
spells.
tends to attract slightly more women than men.
Women and men.
In fact, male
Wickets.
and the word witch can be
Which can be useful now. As well as witch and a wizard.
And hence there is some overlap.
The divine mother, basically the goddess movement, which means Mother Nature and Mother Earth, Earth Mother. New Age movement fits into all that.
Nowadays, a lot of the things we've been discussing simply end up being labeled as New Age. That's because New Age did in fact end up incorporating a bunch of different esoteric movements under one big umbrella. So, for example,
definitely does. You incorporate a bunch of different movements under one big umbrella. There's basically neo-paganism, modern paganism, and the morphologies, and spiritualism, and New Thought, and Theosophy, and UFO religions that drew from those ones to make the new Age movement. You can originally the Roswell incident as well. It was Raalism. According to that, their beliefs are that the gods, basically it's an alien religion. Alien visit. That's a very crazy story. That's what they believe. Exactly. Exactly.
Now, when it comes to New Age, things are not as specific as that. After all, there is no
exactly, bro.
Or any structure at all to the New Age movement.
There's no structure or religious.
Practice New Age often believe different things.
Who practice New Age believe in different things. Don't know all New Ages believe in aliens. Part of Westernesotericism. Divine spirits. Dead relatives. Extraterrestrials too. Has a direct to outer space. The New Age movement does, yeah. Talking about the spring equinox, which happens every 2,000 years. Another for every 2,000 years. The age of Pisces since the time of Jesus. Entering the age of Aquarius in the next 2,000 years. So that's where this will occur. It's impossible to research says that we'll be entering the age of Aquarius. And we'll be for 2,000 years in the age of Pisces. New part of new kind of spirituality when this happens. And very minded as well. And that was a brief study, but I do a detailed study on my channel. Don't worry, I'll leave a link. I'll leave a link to the original video in the description so you can watch it without my commentary. Leave a link to his channel in the description. I'll leave a link to my channel in the description so you can subscribe and check them out. You can go to those ones as well.
And while you're there, don't forget to sign up.
I might do that one day. I will do that.
Thanks for watching.
Basically, there's Norse mythology and modern paganism known as neo-paganism and Norse mythology. And how Norse mythology, basically there's Odin, Thor, Loki. There's Odin, Thor, Loki, Sieg, Freya, and many others out there as well.